Okay, now in this section I'm going to cover multiple windmills. You may have noticed my clothes are completely changed. That is because I had to kind of like stop making the tutorial halfway as I didn't really realise the time I had to go out and I didn't want to rush it. So yeah, this is like kind of a week later after the final step of the getting your first windmill. But yeah, okay, this is going to cover multiple windmills. And what I classify for multiple windmills that you need to do, it's all about re-stabbing and just kicking again. Now I'm going to show you two windmills from standing. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to teach it from a stationary position. I'm going to teach two windmills. So I'll show you two fast ones and I'll just kind of break them down and show you how you do the re-stab and how you kick again and how you find it easier doing it kind of the way that I learn it. I'll just do two for you. Okay, now that's two, that's just two continuous windmills. Okay, so where you've come from on your back and you've done your bounce and you've come back, and I'm pretty sure you've already learnt to come round and re-stab. Okay, now I'm hoping you're up to that bit. If not, kind of rewind the video. But yeah, so you've re-stabbed. Now this is how I find it easy. This is how I found it easier to be able to get a second windmill. It kind of makes it look a little bit messy to begin with, but it helps you learn it, and it also will give you time later on to clean it up and everything in the future. But this is an easier way to learn it and to sort of stop all the frustration and the discouragement from it. Okay, so when you've come back, a lot of people try and tell you keep your legs as straight as you can, but this is the harder bit. You can't really keep your legs straight because I tell you what, try and go in a hang glide position with your legs bent, which is easy, and then try and do them straight. Obviously I can do it, but when you're just starting out, it is a lot harder to be able to do that, keep your legs straight and everything. So I'm going to teach this as when you come back round from your first windmill, as you're re-stabbing, bend your legs in. And I mean this, when you sweep this leg underneath, bend them in like this. Doesn't matter if they kind of just scrape the floor a little bit, because at the moment it's all about your momentum. You need to maintain that more than anything, because if you keep your legs straight, when you're just starting out and you're trying to get a second windmill, you're probably going to go like that. And you're just going to land straight on your side again and not be able to get that second windmill, and it's just going to kind of frustrate you. Okay, so as I said, you come around again, and as you re-stab, bend your legs in. So for people, because I'm teaching you anti-clockwise, you're going to bend your left leg. It'll make it so much easier. Bend the left leg, and then this will make it 10 times easier to be able to kick again. So then you'll be able to kick once again. So I'll show you that in a. So I'll do a windmill, and I'll do it in a really slow motion, as I said, it'll be quite messy. But then I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so you're going to be here. Alright, your first mill, come round, and that's it. You scrape the floor a little bit, and you caught yourself in a hang glide position, and you bent that leg again. Now, as I said, it will look a little bit messy and stuff, but it will help you a lot more. And then eventually, because I said this, then eventually you'll be able to straighten the leg, and you'll be able to come around like that. But to begin with, bend the leg when you come in. Make it 10 times easier, and you'll be able to hit that second windmill a lot faster. Okay, so I'll do it again. Here, 2, 1. Catch it, bend the leg, and swing again. 10 times easier, so much easier. Let's do it that way. Okay, now I'm going to be teaching windmills from a standing position, and hopefully, yeah, you can catch up. Okay, so now I'm going to teach windmills from a standing position, because not a lot of tutorials actually teach this, and I think it's actually kind of like a vital thing to be able to learn, especially if you're going into a battle, because I mean, if you're actually going to, because notice really any tutorials kind of teach you how to incorporate a windmill within like maybe a set, which I'm also going to teach later, or even from a standing position if you want to go straight into windmills, because I mean, if you come straight into a battle and you're just like, yeah, do your top rock, and then you just kind of come down to your knees and start like winding up from a windmill, everyone's just, the bloke's just kind of going to laugh at you, really. Doesn't really look cool. So you want to have something that looks a little more classy. So that's going to be the standing windmill. Now, a lot of people kind of find this really hard, but it's really actually basic. I just see it as doing it from a high level. That is it. There's no really anything else that's different, kind of, really. Okay, now I'm going to teach this. It's called the V stance, and I taught this in my cricket tutorial. If you haven't seen that, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go over it again. In the cricket one, I taught you to bring your left leg back. As I'm teaching this anti-clockwise, so if you're clockwise, it's going to be the other way, it'd be like your right foot back. But in the other tutorial, I taught you to bring your left foot back. Now that's cool and everything, but I've now begun to bring my left foot to the side, so I'm level. And that is simply because my teacher said to me I get a lot more power doing it that way. With windmills and that kind of won't matter, but with stuff like flares, if you bring your leg back, you've got like barely any power, whereas if you bring it to the side, you've got more of a circle to be able to make, and you've got longer time to be able to pick up some power. So that's a really good habit to get in, and kind of don't get into the one at the back because it can be really discouraging when you're trying to change it. Anyway, yeah, so you're going to bring your left leg out, and then you are going to take your right hand, and you're going to come around here, and you're going to pivot on your right foot, and you're going to bring your left leg round. So you're going to come out doing that. Now I'll show you what the move you're actually doing when this is the kind of move you're doing. A lot of people call it cobwebs, or I don't know, beginning of a coin drop, anything like that. It's got loads of different names, but it's literally just that. But you're not actually doing the whole thing. Obviously, you're not landing back on your feet. You're just dropping down into the windmill onto your shoulder. So you're going to bring your left leg out, right hand out, pivot on your right foot, like that. This is the point then when you're going to lift your right leg up and place your left hand down. So place your left hand down first, obviously, and then you're going to kick your right leg up. Do not go up into a handstand or anything like that. Go simply kick your hips up and then kind of kick your bum out, and you're going to go be like that. Do not go all the way up like that. Otherwise, you're just going to end up falling in a kind of awkward position, hurting your back, and etc. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. Left leg out, pivot on the right foot, right hand down, left hand down, and here. This is then the point when you're going to drop onto your left shoulder. Now, it's going to kind of feel a bit scary at first, but you need to kind of get used to it. I recommend don't use a mat. A lot of people say, oh yeah, use a mat and all that because it, you know, you'll feel safe and all that, but not being funny, no pain, no gain, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I think you should learn it on the rough surfaces. You need to learn it the hard way because, yeah, say you'll get it on a mat. That's wicked. Now do it off the mat. It's going to take even longer. And then it will discourage you even more because you'll be used to that kind of soft feeling, whereas you need to feel the ground. You need to smash a couple of times. People who learned air flares didn't do an air flare, you know, and come out of no injuries whatsoever. I mean, I've got scars on my shoulders from learning barrel mills and munch mills and that kind of stuff. But, yeah, you need to learn it the hard way, in my opinion. Okay, so again, left leg out. It shouldn't hurt that much anyway. I'm not trying to scare you or anything. Okay, now pivot, up, here, and this is when you're going to drop down to your back. Now, obviously doing it in a slow motion, it kind of looks really unclean and stuff and a bit messy. But anyway, you'll kind of get the drift of it. So, left leg out, pivot on the right foot, up, right hand down, left hand down, hips up and drop onto the shoulder. And kind of go onto your back. At first, all you'll end up is doing is just doing a little back spin. So practice that more than anything. And then eventually you'll get some more power because you'll get more confident with it. So whereas at first it'll just be onto the back, and then eventually you'll be able to step out, and then you'll be able to just pop straight up to another windmill. Gives you a lot more power doing it that way, in my opinion, than doing it from a stab position, and you've got longer to kind of use your reaction times to be able to, you know, go for more windmills and stuff. So I think it's great to be able to learn. Okay, now I'm just going to be teaching one more part of this tutorial, and that is going to be windmills used in combos. Yeah, I thought I'd teach you the last bit of this tutorial just being a combo, which is what I taught in my other one. It's just going to be from a 6-step again, and the reason I'm doing that is because like, I don't want to be like, you know, getting you into other moves and kind of stuff at the moment. I just want to be keeping you onto windmills. Because I mean, if you can, because I'm going to be teaching like a flare down into windmill, which is quite easy, but I'm going to do that in a separate actual tutorial. I was going to link it to this, but then I thought, obviously, if you're learning windmills, I wouldn't have thought you've had flare yet, but you know, some people have and some people haven't. But regardless, I'm going to teach 6-step into windmill, which is what I taught from crickets, and it's just a basic combo, but it can be used anywhere. And it actually looks pretty cool with windmills, like, and I used it at the end of my tutorial last time when I did a kind of a set. But anyway, so I'm going to show you quickly, and then I'm going to break it down for you. It's going to be pretty much the same breakdown as it was for the crickets, but as I said, if you haven't seen that, then that's absolutely fine. I'll just go over it a little bit more. So I'm going to show you it, and then I'll break it down. So it'll be 6-step into a windmill, and yeah, then I'll just finish it up like that. Okay, so. Okay, now from a 6-step into a windmill, you kind of need a bit of a lift. Like a bit of like a swing of the leg, which is what I taught in the other one also. Okay, so you're going to do in your 6-step, you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to do your 3 steps as usual. Your 4th step isn't going to be a usual 4th step. It's going to come around, but instead of crossing it like that, because in a regular 6-step you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. In this one you're going to go 1, 2, 3, then your leg here is going to straighten, because this is what's going to sweep you all the way around to enable you to go straight onto your back and go into a powerful windmill. Because if you don't straighten it, because I'll show you what'll happen probably if you use it bent. Might not always happen all the time, but it won't give you as much power, because if you do it bent, like you haven't really got any power, whereas if you do it straight, you've got a lot more power to be able to get onto your back and levitate in that. Okay, levitate, lift yourself, sorry. Yeah, so you've got your 1, 2, 3. Now at this point, get your hips up. For starters, do not have your hips all low, because they'll actually be even harder, I'm not even going to lie. Keep on your fingertips. And yeah, okay, so you're going to straighten your right leg, bring your right hand up. This is the point then, sorry no, keep your right hand down. This is the point then where you're going to lift your left hand up, and you're going to kick this left leg up. You're going to kind of keep this leg kind of just a bit off the floor, try not to kind of sweep it along the floor, that's just being lazy really. Although you can do that to kind of begin with if it's easier for you. But yeah, so sweep it along, kick this one up, and then you're going to kind of try and practice going into the hang glide position. So even if your legs hit the floor, it doesn't really matter because it's just getting to used to it. So just try and get into that position like here. Okay, so you've gone 1, 2, 3. Your right hand down, swing your leg forward, lift this leg up, jumps over, catch yourself. Like here. Okay, this is the point then where you're going to be learning to drop onto your shoulder, and eventually it'll get smoother and smoother and it'll just look better. Okay, so the moment I'm going to teach you how to go into the hang glide and then just fall onto it, whereas when you get better you'll go straight from the air and then you'll land onto the shoulder. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, swing your leg forward, here, caught yourself, and just go straight onto your shoulder. As I said, it'll look messy, but then when you develop it a little bit more, understand the technique, it will become a lot smoother. And I'm going to show you it now as how it would develop. So you've gone from here, you've landed literally from here, don't use this hand or anything, take it away, and go as if you would go into a regular windmill. Now here we go, so I'm going to teach you again. 1, 2, 3, right hand down, 4, lift your left hand up and swing the leg, here we go, and onto the back. I'm going to show you another fast one and complete, and I'm going to show you a set to finish this all off with. Here we go, last time, 1, 2, 3, right hand down, left hand up and swing the leg here. And that is how you do a windmill from a 6-step.